In any relationship, love and connection are built on a foundation of mutual care, trust, and effort. However, over time, emotions can change, and signs of disconnection may begin to appear. One of the most painful experiences is realizing that your partner may no longer feel the same way about you. While love doesn't always disappear overnight, there are subtle, and sometimes not so subtle signs that can indicate a shift in feelings. If you find yourself questioning whether your partner still loves you, it might be because you've started to notice these changes in their behavior. These signs might not always be obvious, but they often speak volumes about where the relationship is headed. One of the first and most noticeable signs is a lack of communication. Communication is the glue that holds relationships together. Without it, misunderstandings occur and emotional bonds weaken. When your partner stops sharing their thoughts, feelings, or even basic details about their day, it creates an emotional distance between the two of you. The simple act of talking about everyday experiences becomes a task rather than a connection, and this can leave you feeling lonely, even when you're physically together. Another sign of emotional withdrawal is diminished affection. In the early stages of a relationship, affection is abundant. You hold hands, share intimate touches, and express love through both words and actions. However, when affection begins to fade, it can feel as though the love is slipping away. A hug that once seemed natural may now feel forced, or your partner might begin avoiding physical closeness altogether. These small but significant changes can have a profound impact on the emotional closeness you once shared. Along with affection, the lack of eye contact can be another telling sign. Eye contact is an intimate form of communication, one that reflects interest, understanding, and connection. When your partner begins to avoid eye contact during conversations, it might indicate that they are no longer fully engaged in the relationship. This subtle behavior can cause feelings of rejection or insecurity, as it symbolizes a deeper emotional withdrawal that words alone can't convey. One of the more painful signs is when your partner makes less of an effort to spend quality time together. Relationships thrive on shared experiences and time spent enjoying each other's company. But when your partner starts cancelling plans, showing little interest in activities you once enjoyed, or prioritizing other commitments over your time together, it creates an emotional gap that can be hard to bridge. This lack of effort to nurture the relationship can make you feel neglected and unwanted. Physical touch is another cornerstone of intimacy, and when it begins to diminish, it can be hard to ignore. If your partner no longer seeks out hugs, kisses, or even simple touches, it often reflects a deeper emotional distance. These small acts of affection are not just about physical closeness. They serve as a reminder of love and connection. When they are no longer present, it can feel like a sign that the emotional bond is unraveling. Other signs, such as constant criticism or negativity, emotional distance, and disinterest in your achievements or struggles, also point to an overall decline in the quality of the relationship. If your partner is no longer listening to you, celebrating your successes, or showing concern when you face challenges, it can feel isolating and discouraging. Relationships require both partners to invest emotionally, and when that effort wanes, it can leave one person feeling unsupported and unloved. Lastly, a lack of future planning can be one of the most telling signs that your partner no longer sees you as a part of their future. Making plans together, whether big or small, is a sign of commitment. If your partner avoids discussing the future or seems uninterested in making plans that involve you, it can suggest that they no longer view the relationship as long-term. These signs are not always easy to spot, and they may develop slowly over time. However, recognizing these subtle shifts can help you understand what's happening in your relationship and decide what steps to take next. Relationships require continuous effort, and when that effort fades, it's important to acknowledge the changes and address the issues before they cause further harm. 1. Lack of communication. When your partner stops communicating effectively, it can be one of the clearest signs that they are no longer emotionally invested. Communication is key in any relationship, and when the flow of conversation begins to dwindle, it often indicates a deeper issue. Initially, it might start with them being less responsive to your texts or phone calls. Over time, they may stop initiating conversations altogether. If you find that you're always the one to reach out first, or your attempts at discussing your relationship are met with silence or indifference, it suggests a lack of interest in maintaining a strong emotional connection. The absence of communication can create emotional distance, leaving you feeling isolated, even when you're physically together. This gradual decline in interaction can also lead to misunderstandings and unresolved conflicts, further widening the gap between the two of you. 2. Diminished affection. When affection fades in a relationship, it's often a strong indicator that the emotional connection is weakening. At the beginning of a relationship, partners tend to express love through gestures like hugs, kisses, and words of affirmation. However, when affection diminishes, these actions become less frequent or even non-existent. Your partner may stop holding your hand in public, giving you those loving touches, or even verbally expressing their love. If you notice that they no longer compliment you or show interest in your well-being, it may feel like you're no longer a priority in their life. This lack of affection can leave you feeling unloved and unappreciated, creating a sense of emotional emptiness in the relationship. Over time, it can make you question whether the love you once shared is still there. 3. Avoiding eye contact. Avoiding eye contact is a subtle but powerful sign that emotional connection is deteriorating. In any relationship, eye contact serves as a way of building intimacy and trust. It helps convey emotions without words and keeps the bond strong. However, when your partner begins to avoid looking at you during conversations, it can indicate disinterest or discomfort. They might look away when you speak, or their gaze might wander elsewhere, showing a lack of engagement or emotional distance. This change in behavior can be particularly noticeable during moments when you need reassurance or affection, leaving you feeling disconnected. The absence of eye contact often reflects a deeper issue, like emotional withdrawal or a lack of investment in the relationship. Reduced effort in spending time together. When a partner starts putting less effort into spending time with you, it can be a clear sign that their feelings are changing. In the early stages of a relationship, both individuals usually make time for each other, prioritizing shared experiences and creating memories. However, if your partner suddenly becomes busier or constantly makes excuses to avoid plans, this could indicate they are no longer as emotionally committed. They might prefer to spend time with friends, focus on their hobbies, or simply stay busy with work or other obligations, leaving you to feel neglected. Even when time together is scheduled, the quality of it may decrease, with your partner seeming distracted or disinterested. Over time, this lack of effort can lead to a sense of loneliness, as you might feel like you're no longer important enough for them to make time for. Less physical touch. Physical touch is a key aspect of intimacy in a relationship, and when it starts to fade, it can be a significant sign that emotional distance is growing. Initially, gestures like holding hands, hugging, or cuddling are common ways couples show affection. However, if your partner begins to avoid these simple acts of love, it can feel like the emotional bond is slipping away. You may notice that they no longer reach for your hand in public or shy away from giving you a kiss before bed. Even during moments of closeness, such as sitting together, there may be a noticeable absence of any physical contact. This lack of touch can make you feel unloved and unimportant, as it often reflects a deeper emotional withdrawal. Without physical affection, the relationship can feel more like a friendship than a romantic partnership, leading to a sense of isolation and disconnection. 6. Constant criticism or negativity. When a partner constantly criticizes or displays negativity, it can be a sign that their feelings are shifting or that they are no longer emotionally invested in the relationship. Initially, Healthy relationships involve constructive feedback and support, but when criticism becomes frequent and harsh, it can erode the connection between partners. You may notice that your partner points out your flaws or shortcomings more often, even over small things that didn't matter before. Instead of encouraging or uplifting you, their comments may leave you feeling inadequate or unloved. This constant negativity can also make it difficult to have open, honest conversations, as any attempt to communicate may be met with judgment or disdain. Over time, this behavior can lead to emotional exhaustion, where you feel more like a target than a partner, and it becomes harder to find joy or support in the relationship. 7. Emotional distance. Emotional distance in a relationship is one of the most telling signs that a partner may no longer be fully invested. When you notice that your partner is no longer emotionally available or responsive, it creates a sense of isolation even when you're together. They may become less responsive to your needs, whether it's offering comfort during tough times or celebrating your achievements. Conversations that once felt deep and meaningful may turn superficial, with your partner offering little insight or empathy. They might become disengaged during discussions, avoiding sharing their feelings or thoughts. This lack of emotional intimacy can also show up in their reluctance to share personal experiences or make future plans with you, signaling that they no longer see the relationship as a priority. Over time, this emotional withdrawal can leave you feeling alone, even if your partner is physically present. 8. They don't listen to you as much. When your partner stops listening to you as much, it can be a sign that they are no longer fully engaged in the relationship. Listening is a crucial part of communication, and when someone cares deeply about you, they show interest in your thoughts, feelings, and concerns. However, if your partner is distracted, uninterested, or gives short responses when you talk, it may indicate emotional disengagement. You might find that they interrupt you more often, fail to acknowledge important things you've shared, or don't remember details you've told them about your day. This lack of attentiveness can make you feel invisible or unimportant, as it suggests that your thoughts no longer hold the same value they once did. Over time, this disregard for communication can lead to feelings of frustration and loneliness, as you may begin to question whether your emotional needs are being met. You struggles. When your partner shows disinterest in your achievements or struggles, it can signal a lack of emotional investment in the relationship. In a healthy relationship, partners celebrate each other's successes and provide support during difficult times. However, if your partner no longer seems to care about your accomplishments or fails to offer any comfort when you're facing challenges, it suggests that they are emotionally detached. For example, they might not acknowledge a promotion at work or fail to ask about your day when you've had a tough time. This lack of engagement can make you feel unsupported and unappreciated, as it seems like your happiness and well-being no longer matter to them. Over time, this indifference can deepen the emotional rift between you and make the relationship feel one-sided, leaving you with a sense of loneliness despite being in a partnership. They don't make future plans with you. When your partner stops making future plans with you, it can be a clear indication that they are no longer committed to the relationship. In healthy relationships, couples often talk about their goals, dreams, and plans for the future, whether it's a vacation, buying a house, or simply growing together. However, if your partner avoids these discussions or shows no interest in planning for the future, it suggests they may not see you as part of their long-term life. They may avoid talking about future events, refuse to discuss important decisions together, or show no enthusiasm when you bring up plans. This behavior can leave you feeling uncertain about where the relationship is headed and create a sense of instability. Without plans for the future, it's difficult to envision a shared life, which can ultimately lead to feelings of disconnection and a lack of security in the relationship.